Hey guys, Rilhon here and welcome back to another episode of the shipbuilding tutorial series. And today we're going to work on the ship's lifeboats and lifeboat davits, as well as the propellers and the rudder, as well as the masts. I haven't built those yet, but we're gonna do that as well in this episode. So let's get right into it, shall we? Starting off here with the lifeboats, I actually have two different ones here to show off and build. This one here is the 1:1 scale lifeboat, which we'll be using for this build today. And this one is a 1.81 scale lifeboat, which is directly from my 1.81 scale Olympic class. So I'll be showing you how to do both. But we'll begin here with the 1:1 scale boat. Let's get started here. Let's place down a smooth quartz stair with a quartz pillar on top. Bring that back 7 blocks, and you also want to place 2 quartz pillars going up in the stern. In the middle here, place 5 smooth quartz slabs like that on both sides. Then you want to place 4 smooth quartz stairs in total, like that. Also place 2 on the insides. And then you want to fill in the rest with quartz pillars like this. Then you can add in some spruce slabs here, and that's to simulate the seats. And then on top you want to add the so-called lifeboat gunwales. These are basically like a rim on top. On Olympic these were actually painted white, but later Olympic, as well as Titanic, Britannic and many other White Star liners, they were painted like a brown color. So I'm just gonna do that here to make it stand out a bit more. We can now move on to adding the kind of ropes hanging from the sides. I don't know exactly what they were called, but I assume they basically were for if you were in the water and you needed to try and get up into the lifeboats. You'll basically hold on to it and try and climb out that way. And yeah, that's those in place. That's what the tripwire hooks simulate. And now we're gonna do the nameplates. So I have the SS Titanic here, even though we're building Olympic. I mixed those two ships together quite a lot in this tutorial, so I'm sorry for that. But basically the logic you want to use with these is that the side of the lifeboats that's facing out to the sea is where you want to be placing the name of the ship itself, so in this case Titanic. So imagine that this is out to the sea and this side is like towards the ship, like towards the deck houses. That's where you want to place the Liverpool nameplate, basically the place of register for the ship. And underneath you could place in some red beds like that in an item frame. This is to simulate the White Star Line flag. You can also use invisible item frames if you want, and if you have access to that. And they look like this. Oops. Like that. I will put a command in the description how to get those item frames. I believe you need to put that in a command block though, so just be aware of that. And those go on, those go on both sides of the boat, basically. They're directly underneath the nameplates. And that's pretty much that boat done. You can also add in some buttons here to simulate where they would place the rudder. That would not be on the boats when they were stored on deck. It wasn't until they were lowered into the water that they took the rudder. It was stored in the boat, picked it up, and then attached it to the end so they could steer the boat. We can actually add that here now to show you how I would do that if you want to build this in the water. Just do 2 stairs like that, and a birch fence and a birch fence gate. So that's kind of where you hold and steer, basically. So that is the first boat done. Let's move on to the second boat, the 1/8 scale one. And begin here by building the front again. You want 2 blocks this time, and then you want to bring this back. So I need to check 12 blocks. Like that. You want to do 3 blocks going up, back here. Add 2 more quartz pillars, like that. Then you want to add some slabs and trapdoors. Add trapdoors here. Slabs, like that, that's 6 blocks. Let's do both sides. Let's add in some stairs. Like this. And have like a round shape. So it is for both sides. You add in these 2 quartz pillars, another one on top, like this, and do some quartz slabs, like that, and some more quartz slabs, I think. Yes, that is correct. Add some quartz trapdoors, or sorry, iron trapdoors, and finally some quartz stairs, like this. And on top of that, just add some quartz pillars, and that's basically the side of the boat done. And again, on the inside, you'll add some more slabs, add them in the bottom. Add those 2 there, as well as some stairs in the bow and stern. You can replace this slab in the bow and stern like that, so you can have a slope going up. What you want to do next, you can add in the seats. So they were placed 1 block apart, just like in other lifeboat. Just like that. I should mirror this real quick. There we go. That's the basic frame of the boat done. Let's get to work on the gunwales. You have the 3 blocks here in the stern, or in the bow, going back to the stern. The reason I do it with slabs and then trapdoors is I want to get like a curve. So lifeboats had a shear as well, believe it or not. Let's add in the ropes again. You look something like this, and then in between I like to add in chains to actually simulate the rope. Like that, so it on both sides. There we go. Let's add in some grindstones. These were basically meant to be where the falls were connected, the lifeboat falls that the ropes that they would use to lower the boats into the water. We can add in the nameplates, same principle here again. The side facing out into the sea, the name of the ship. The side facing in to the ship itself was the place of registry, so Liverpool. You have the... actually, let's do the White Star Line flag again. Same principle. Oops. Let's do that there. Then one more thing, we couldn't really do this on the other boat. This here, this is basically the boat's specifications. So the 30 stands for the length of the boat, that's in feet, so 30 feet long. It is 9 feet wide and 4 feet tall, basically. And then 648, 48 stands for the amount of people that this boat could handle. I don't remember exactly what the 6 stands for, but yeah, that's basically it. Also, you can add in the buttons on the stern, like this. That's basically the boat done. Now, maybe you want to put some canvas covers on these, so let's grab some smooth sandstone and some birch and just add that in like this. No, like this. So along these lines. We don't add in here because we want some lifeboat falls to be attached to the davits later. So that's where these go. Then same principle on this boat. You want that to be this level, and then goes down half a block like this. And then you break this up with birch slabs to have kind of like an alternating effect like that. And maybe you want to put this in the water and like simulate people rowing them. So, you know, remove the canvas cover again. And oh yeah, we can add the rudder on here as well. Why not? So for this scale, what I do is I do these 2 stair blocks again. I add a diorite wall, birch fence, and a birch fence gate. So same principle there. Then I add in 4 oars, like that. It's not perfect how I build these, but I kind of struggle with doing them in any other way, so just try and do them something like this. Something along those lines. We can make that just be a little bit shorter since it's on an angle. Let's flip this. That's basically the boat out on the sea rowing. Looks a little bit weird when it interrupts the gunwales, but that's fine. You'll survive. But yeah, that's the lifeboat scene done, and now we'll get to work on the davits and placing the boats on the ship itself. Now we are back here in paint.net here, and then you can use the boat deck tracing that you used in the last episode to mark out where the boats are supposed to go, and then you just add those into the game. So that's what I've done here, and let's do that in game as well. Alright, so I've marked out here where the boats are supposed to go. You have the boat deck set in the stern and the boat deck set here in the bow. So here is where you want to make a choice. I've already built them on this side here. And with this scale, to make it the most accurate, you should do the lifeboat davits just 2 blocks in between boats like this. And that's kind of hard with using direct walls, which is what I use for the davits. So what you could do is make the boats 8 blocks long instead. There are 9 actually here. So you just squeeze them a bit together, and then you can make the davits 3 blocks in between instead, to avoid the walls touching each other or connecting. What I've used here is the debug stick, which is another beast by itself, but basically what you can do is you can change block states of different blocks. So I can make the blocks connect or the walls connect like this, but I can also make them not connect, which is how I do basically when I have just 2 blocks in between. So that's up to you what you want to do. I personally want to do it this way because it's more accurate that way, but yeah, you have to decide yourself. So let's copy this boat over, and we'll build the davits around it. There we go. So that's the boat done. Let's grab all the materials we need. There we go. So what we want to start off with is 2 anvils, 1 on each side. And did I place it right? I did, good. We want some iron trapdoors on either side. You can also use birch trapdoors if you don't have access to the debug stick. It works either way. So like that. You can also use commands to place the iron trapdoors like in an open state from the beginning. And what you want to do then is you want to place down 3 direct walls, and then 2 going up, as well as a birch fence like that. Then connect it up with the lifeboats with some dark oak fences. Then do the same thing on this side. And it's the regular Lifeboat Davits and the boats. Now I'm going to copy this to the other ones as well, and I'll be right back. And that's almost all of the lifeboats in place. Now we're going to do the final set here. Here is where the so-called emergency cutter lifeboat was placed. That is a lifeboat which was used for when passengers fell overboard and they needed to quickly lower the boat into the sea. They would have this boat here that would always be swung out and ready to be lowered. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the same principle here, but the davit is actually going to be swung out like this here. So like that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it goes in like that, and a birch fence gate like that. Do that on the other side as well. Whoops. That anvil was so heavy it fell down to a deck. There we go. And then you basically want to do the same lifeboat as these, but just 1 block shorter. I'll just mirror this to the other side. It's not that hard to do. Oop. Now, one more thing we need to do in terms of lifeboats is add the collapsible lifeboats. And this scale is going to be very easy to do. But basically, these were basically rafts that were used as sort of like they were put on the ship as filler lifeboats, basically. Add some extra space where passengers could be loaded into. They were roughly the same size as the cutter lifeboat though, so we're gonna make them like this. They're very small. On Olympic, there were 2 of these stacked on top of each other on the boat deck, like this. There we go. And then also add in the gunwales and the canvas cover on top, like that. On Titanic though, the boat, one of the collapsible boats were stored up on the roof of the officers' quarters here. So they would be roughly in this spot here. This is exactly right, the right position probably, but you just have to look that up on the deck plans to determine where it's supposed to go. But yeah, Olympic, Titanic. And again on Titanic, just remove this top one. And yeah, that's what you want. So that is the lifeboats and davits done. Let's move on to the propellers and the rudder. Now the first thing you want to do here is you go into paint.net and go into the profile view here again, and you want to outline the propeller aperture is what it's called. It's basically this hole in the hull here right in front of the rudder where the middle propeller was placed. So I've outlined that there, and I also marked out where the propellers are supposed to go. So that's what we'll do now. Put this into the game. So let's begin by outlining the aperture here. So it's in this shape here, so that's 2 blocks, and that is 4 blocks on the side. So we have that. You also want to bring the hull shape back here a bit. That's actually a little bit of a flaw I did in my tutorial. This line here is supposed to be a little bit more of an S shape, because it kind of curves around the aperture, as you can see here. Okay, here I did, yeah, like that. So it curves a little bit around it. And let's flip this to the other side. There we go. And that's the aperture outlined. We can add in some details to it, make it more defined. Oh yeah, actually, yeah, do it like that. No, sorry. Add some stairs and slabs to make it more curved. Add a trapdoor even, like that. And also on the bottom, it needs to be 1 block higher. Like that. And also add some trapdoors to make it slightly thinner. And finally add in the propeller shaft itself going across. You can add in some mangrove trapdoors on the sides to simulate it getting a little bit thicker. So that is the aperture done. You can see that's what I have here. Let's get to work on the propeller shafts on the sides, the wing propellers. And what we want to do here again is outline and trace like we did before with the other decks, but now we want to do that with the tank top, which is this deck here in the plans. You can see the propellers are outlined here, so that's what we want to use. Unfortunately, the tank top is kind of hard to know exactly how long it's supposed to be, like where you measure and figure out the total length of it in pixels and blocks. So in this case, luckily, all of these decks are on the same page and they're roughly the same scale, so I can actually cheat a little bit and use F-deck as a guide. So what I do is I select F-deck and I pull it down all the way to include the tank top. I think that's roughly right, yeah. So you have all of the decks here. You copy that, paste it into a new image, and then I have F-deck here from before. This is 259 blocks long, so that's what we want to resize it to, like that. They aren't exactly lined up properly, but they are the same scale now roughly, so that's what we want. Again, this isn't like perfect, I know, but again, this is just for starting out. And as you go along and build more advanced ships, you'll figure out ways to make your stuff much more accurate. So let's get to the propellers and the propeller shafts. So this is 15 blocks in between the two propeller shafts here, so that's what we'll put in the game. Alright, so we're back here. I outlined where the propellers are supposed to go as well. I forgot to do that before. But we'll go out 7 blocks. And then 7 on the other side as well. And that is now 15 blocks in width. Go from the point where the propellers are, here. And that is the width that we want. So replace that with a red terracotta and bring this back all the way, like this. Go back 1 block, like that. And then bring this back as well. So that is the propeller shafts and the propeller arms basically in place. You also want to bring this forward 1 block. Let's add a brick wall as well, like that. And let's get started on the propellers. So, the middle propeller on Olympic had 4 blades. So we'll begin with smooth sandstone. That's the block I always use for my propellers. It's not perfectly accurate, but it's pretty much as good as we can get, basically. If we want to use stairs and slabs. So yeah, we're gonna start with smooth sandstone blocks in a cross pattern, and then we also want to do birch trapdoors on each of the blocks. You want to open 2 of them in like a diagonal position like that. On top, you want to place a smooth sandstone slab, and on the bottom and on the sides you want to place sandstone walls like this. Let's move on to the wing propellers, or the big propellers. So, begin with the top blade. It's shaped in this way, yes, correct. Like this, you have 3 stairs and 1 block. Let's do this blade. If that is correct, yes. So again, you have 3 stairs and 1 block, like that. And the final blade is on like a diagonal position. So you want 1 block, 2 stairs, and 1 sandstone wall, like that. And that's pretty much it in terms of propellers. So let's copy this to the other side. Make sure you don't copy the middle propeller, because that's gonna mess it up a little bit. There we go. Propellers in place. Let's continue and finish off the rudder as well. So, looks a little bit complicated here, but it looks a little bit weird. The walls got messed up. Anyway, what you want to do to begin with is you want to punch a hole here up to about, and you can replace this actually, replace the like concrete with diamond blocks. You can see it a little bit easier. You want to punch a hole all the way up almost to except about 3 blocks at the top. You want to place 1 block here, 1 block here, here, in this pattern basically. Like that. Kind of like an alternating pattern. So basically, this block is part of the ship itself, while the rudder sort of plops on top. That's what this is supposed to represent. And yeah, that's what we want. You can also add trapdoors on the sides to sort of simulate where the sort of pin that goes into the holder of the rudder, pretty much. That makes sense. I'm just a stupid Swede, I don't know how to say words well. Something along those lines. Then you want to take some, a stripped mangrove wood. In my case at least, that's what I use for different colored draft blocks basically. And I use simple black stone for the freeboard section, like that. Let's replace the diamond block with black wool. And then replace the red concrete with the terracotta. And that's pretty much that. Also, you can add these, I'm not sure what these are called. They're kind of like stripes on the rudder going back. Maybe they helped with the maneuverability, I don't really know. But they were there. Actually, no, I know what they are. They were basically where they welded the different parts of the rudder together. They were basically in pieces like this. So these parts are where they welded them together. I think that's what it's about. Don't quote me, but yeah, it's basically a fact. Anyway, you can also make this a little bit more smooth if you want. So bring that curve in. And you can use some stairs and walls here as well, if you want. Bring that up. Oh yeah, that's blocked, that block. Did that work? That's probably better that way. Rilhon talking to himself again. Can do this streak going across there as well. And that's not perfectly accurate to the real ship. You can study photographs if you want to make this as accurate as possible, but this is just basically meant to show you the basic, like the concept of how you do it. But yeah, that is the propellers, propeller shafts, and the rudder done. So let's move on to the masts. Alright, so let's do the masts. What you basically want to do is you want to mark out the base of it and the top of it. So that's what I've done here, here and there. We want to put these in the game, and then we're gonna basically connect them afterwards. So let's do that. Let's put this in the game. So I've done this on the forecastle deck, top point, the bottom point. You could, if you want to, manually connect these through trial and error. But if you have WorldEdit, like I do, just select them. And then you do the //line command. It's the orange rule for now to mark it out. Like this. That's the mast, basically. Of course, you can make this more smooth. Let's replace this actually with orange terracotta, because that's a more correct color. I also like to add in stairs to make the pieces connect, so to speak. And then on the very top, I like to replace the blocks with first walls and then fences, basically, like that. That's basically the principle of the masts. I'm gonna do the stern one as well, and I'll be right back. And those are the masts in place. So, I have a very, very nice outline here now of the Olympic. She looks almost like her proper self. So, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you found a lot of use for it. And I'll be back in the next episode, and who knows what we'll build in that one. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.